we went into the club and we set up a huge buffet essentially, and it's in the middle of the club. Yes, the club is still operating, they're going, and the music's very loud and everything. And I saw a woman off in the distance, and she had a blue sweater on with her, it was kind of draping off her shoulder with a bag. And so I didn't know if she was a dancer, or I didn't know if she was, I don't know who she was. Right. But I walked over to her and I said, hey, would you like something to eat? And she immediately looked at me and she said, how much does it cost? And I said, it's free. And she said, it's free? She said, and she just began automatically crying. She said, I have 5 kids at home that haven't eaten, and this is my first day to show up here so that I can make some money and feed them. And I mean, my heart was so broken in that moment. She said, I showed up here and they told me I had to take off all of my clothes, but I had never done that before. And in order to feed my kids, I had to go get drunk to do that. So she went and got drunk. She comes back into the club and intersects our paths. And so I invite her to come over to eat, and we're getting her food, and she is very hungry. And I often say to people, have you ever been so hungry that you'd be so desperate you'd do anything to feed yourself and your family? I haven't experienced that, but this woman had. And so we were in this strip club. I'm feeding her, you know, I'm getting her food, and she takes the mac and cheese spoon and starts shoveling it into her mouth. She's that hungry. And so we take, I'll let you read all the details in the book, because there's some stuff, but we take the pan and set it over to the side, and she asks me, she doesn't even know who I am, and she says, will you pray with me? Wow. We do not wear Jesus shirts. We do not go in there Bible thumping. We do not say we're Christians at first. We simply show up with the love of Christ and offer a meal, and then when they ask, we tell them why we're there. And so she said, will you pray with me? And so immediately we grabbed hands, and she was looking at me, and she dropped to her knees and cried out to God, and she said, I need help. I need help. And so she was crying out to the Lord. And at this time, as you can imagine in the club, the lights came up, the music stopped, and everyone was staring at us. And I'm thinking in my head, we're about to get kicked out of here. Wow. And she stands up, and she's sober-minded, and she says, I met Jesus here tonight.